first day of fall camp under Neal Brown, and like most fall camps, wasn't necessarily a lot you can glean from what you saw on the field. Practice was open for 30 minutes. We were able to go up to the practice field, see the players go through some drills, some basic stuff. A lot of the same things you saw in the spring. Something that wasn't the same is some new faces. Neal Brown addressed that in his press conference. Probably the biggest news from today didn't happen during the 30-minute interview session, more what we were able to uncover in Neal Brown's press conference. Osita Smith, Rayshawn Lynn, both are going to be going to junior college. Those are two guys that were kind of hanging in the wind. West Virginia had been waiting on really if they were going to make it, were they not going to make it. It seems now that the answer to that is clear. Both are going to be heading to junior college. Someone that did make it, though, was Brandon Yates, an offensive lineman. He had been the third guy of that trio that had signed with West Virginia but not enrolled. Good-looking kid, looked to be a big offensive lineman. Kind of a really big news for West Virginia in the sense down the road that this was a guy that had offers from USC and some other schools late, and West Virginia's able to get him in school. What did you think, Pat?
Yeah, he got some reps at left tackle, and that's something that that West Virginia really needs is depth at offensive line, and that's something that Neal Brown really stressed throughout his press conference today was personnel. Like you said, that's arguably the biggest news from today is that he cleared up a lot of the fogginess that came with some of the scholarship situations. Are guys going to be eligible? The guys apply for waivers? Who's going to be on campus? He cleared up a lot of that. But like we said, and a lot of that too is due to depth. They need bodies, they need competition, they need depth in a lot of position groups.
And a lot of that was refreshing. The way he led off that press conference was
very straight up.
Very straight up. Any question you might have had on the roster, sans scholarship numbers, but he actually said he's going to get into that next time, it was answered. He addressed every single player that was added, either through scholarship or not. I think that's refreshing. I think fans are going to be excited for that kind of take. Thank the media too. Thank us for being there.
Right out of the gate. Thank the media. I think he even talked about his experience at one point with this. Being a journalist,
he was an editor
of a paper, I think, at school.
Yeah, so that was definitely a refreshing take. The one thing I did glean from that I thought was important is he kind of hinted, didn't outright say it, but hinted that obviously Sean Ryan is still waiting on a waiver approval, and it seems that Jarrett Dagey is as well. So those are your two guys. He did confirm that Alonzo Adai is going to be setting out this year. They're going to use him next year at corner. Corey Turner is going to play corner too, which I thought was kind of a surprise because he had told me safety while he was being recruited. So some personnel issues were cleared up. I think that's a good thing for your first day of fall camp. No lingering questions really at this point with your roster. It is pretty much what it is because there's always the possibility that maybe some guy could show up late. That wasn't addressed today, but at this point, it seems pretty clear that every guy that has indeed signed with West Virginia has been accounted for.
And it's going to be interesting to see what kind of impact some of these guys who are going to be eligible this year
because they're going to have to play.
Yeah, exactly. And you mentioned Jarrett Dagey's situation. We were unclear, just a few days ago whether or not he even applied for a waiver because it really didn't sound like he wasn't. It just sounded like he was just going to take, redshirt this year, be eligible next year, compete for the starting quarterback position, but. If he is granted that immediate eligibility, man, that really shakes up things as far as the quarterback competition goes. Arguably one of the most important position battles going on this spring for the Mountaineers. If he's granted immediate eligibility, which personally I don't think he will be, who knows what could happen from there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Oh, you never know with the NCAA. Let's say here, I get these questions. We get these questions on the Blue Line a lot. What I think, I don't know, and I'm not going to pretend.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. In terms of what we did get to see, Patrick, did anybody stand out to you from a physical aspect or what you were able to see in the limited portion of practice we got?
Not really. Like you said, I spent most of my time worrying about taking pictures and and stressing over video. But from what I did see, I kind of like what you mentioned is that a lot of it is just the same kind of things that we've already seen. I'm just really curious about a couple things. I didn't really get to watch specialists today, but one thing I'm really curious about and looking forward to tomorrow's media availability, where we'll be able to watch the entire practice session as specialists. I know Evan Staley was listed as the kicker, punter, guy for kickoffs too. I really don't think that's going to be the case because that's a lot for his leg in a single game. So I'm really curious to see just how the specialists
Who's punting?
Who's punting? Exactly.
Everyone's talking about the quarterback. Everyone's talking about offensive line depth, but who's going to punt for this team?
Exactly, and like I said, that's one thing I didn't get to see today. But I'm also interested not only in the quarterback situation but the offensive line. Like I said, today we saw that it's mainly the first team group that repped with the first team all spring. Back at it again today. We have Colt McKivitz at left tackle, Mike Brown left guard, Chase Barron at center, and then the right side consists of Josh Sills at right guard, and then Kelby Wickline at right tackle. So same group. I think this group has the potential to potentially surprise people, be effective. Like I said, you got two proven guys in Colt McKivitz and Josh Sills. I mean, Barrett's coming along. Kelby Wickline showed flashes at times. Mike Brown especially has made a lot of strides during the spring. But those three guys, other than Sills and McKivitz, just aren't really proven yet. So I'm really interested to see how this group progresses over the spring and just what kind of impact they can have. Because I mean, the run game has been non-existent the past. I'm not gonna say non-existent, but it just hasn't been what it should be the past couple of years. And Neal Brown has made it clear they got to have a run game, especially with the uncertainty of the quarterback position.
Yeah, and wide receiver as well. And also, I think it's worth mentioning that Neal did clear up that Jacob Butchagrassi is taking a medical red shirt, so his career as a Mountaineer is over. I think that was apparent when you got the roster sheet and his number had been replaced and his name wasn't on it, but he did clear up any doubt there. One thing that did stand out to me, and this has stood out to me the last couple classes, not just with this one, the freshmen. The true freshmen look like players. Jordan Jefferson looks like a man.
He looks the part.
He very much is reminiscent in what I saw in Dante Stills a year ago. I expected that out of Dante Stills. It's not to say I didn't expect it out of Jordan Jefferson, but for as physically impressive as he looked, for a guy that really didn't get recruited till late, I was impressed. I think to Corey Turner, we mentioned him earlier. He's going to play cornerback. He stood out from physical. Jared Bartlett. There's a lot of guys that really stood out, and that I'm interested to see, as fall camp progresses and once the season begins, how Neal utilizes the redshirt rule. Because he's going to have to depend on some of these young guys. Is he going to play? Is he going to try to save them? Is he going to play them in waves? I talked to him in the spring, and he said, you don't want to use them all at once, but given their depth concerns, he mentioned today that this is a roster that's going to take a couple classes to fill out, get back to the 85 limit because of attrition and some of the turnovers. So it'll be interesting to see who plays, who does not play, and how much do they play, because now it's not like it used to be. You can play 3-4 games and keep a redshirt year. So the big thing is tomorrow we'll probably have a lot more insight. Still acclimation period, going through things. Won't be full pads obviously, but we'll have a better idea of what's going on at practice. I know we got a lot of questions about quarterbacks. Just saw them throw a little bit today, go through some drill work that they did in the spring. So we'll probably have more of that tomorrow. But overall, a productive first day. Definitely welcoming feeling from Neal Brown, as we mentioned before, and excited that football's back. Football's back, guys. Be excited about it.